And then this last time, the Lord was like, he wasn't playing. He was like, I don't need your help. Be still. Like, okay. And then I drop it. It's like, okay, I don't do nothing.
Yes, sir.
I was like, yes, sir. Then when this guy came and said all that, Mr. Skip, I was like, okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
So there's a word for somebody that's listening to this. Like, when you don't understand and you still obey what the Lord is telling you, you got to be in the hand of the God.
Mm-hmm.
He's in control. But sometimes it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Two Dudes, One God Pod. We just had a crazy, we might have to come out with like bonus material and y'all can listen to what we just talked about because it might be a little too spicy. You might have to pay like 99 cents.
Yeah, we'll do a subscription
I
situation.
think we might have to get on OnlyFans. It'd be like only prayers.
Yeah.
And then, you pay 99 cents and you can listen to our bonus material.
Yeah.
But this is crazy because literally like an hour ago, I texted Coach Rock and I was like, can you come on the podcast? And he was like, I would love to. And I was like, can you come right now? And he was like, yeah, I'll be here. And then Pat was asleep, but he woke up and came.
Yeah.
And
here I am.
Hey, if you're new here, this is what Pat looks like right when he wakes up.
Yep.
Which is also what he looks like at church, which is also what it looks like at work.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much always tired.
we don't do the lies here. We don't put makeup on. I don't do any operations or
no. You got
stuff.
some bags going
dude.
on.
Yeah. But so we had Coach Ruck on before. It was one of the coolest episodes.
Yep.
And
had several people tell me like, dude, I cried during that episode.
Yeah,
like, it was a very good testimony, like very moving, everything.
Yeah. And then we had on man, my mind just went totally blank. Well, look, we're having El Bombi Garcia. Robert Garcia is going to be on 3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And we had on
Aaron Hines,
not Aaron Hines,
Casey Parker.
Not Casey Parker.
Vicente.
Vicente.
Yeah.
And Vicente was like, I listened to that Rock episode. And Vicente, I don't know if you remember Rock, but when we recorded it, the last episode with you, I told you that we had a friend of ours that had been through Freedom Weekend that was in law enforcement. And then I'd had conversations with him. And he was like, hey, more law enforcement officers need Jiu-Jitsu, need judo, need these grappling techniques. And he's like, there'd be less shootings, less beatings, less tasings, more control, less injury. And he was like, man, I listened to Coach Rock's episode. He said, I don't know, he was on the episode. He talked about it.
Yeah.
And we talked about it even afterwards. And he was like, man, that guy's cool. And I was like, dude, I know. And then right after we recorded that episode, I talked to Travis. And he's like, Rock's moving to New Mexico. And I was like, oh, no.
What?
Yeah.
He told me that. I told him, like, I don't even know how you heard that. I was like, New Mexico? I don't know.
New Mexico.
No. He told me that.
And we've got a guy at church in our men's group that I think is like a wrestling coach at the Catholic high school or something, right?
Who?
What's his name? Oh, man, I'm messing this up. So sorry, I'm supposed to know your name. You shook my hand a couple weeks ago, but he was.
How does he look like?
He kind of looks like me, less fat.
What a concept,
Eric.
Facial hair.
Is
dark,
that Eric?
Dark hair.
I think it's Eric.
Yeah, it is
yes,
Eric.
it's Eric.
Okay.
Oh,
now look.
Oh, Eric. Eric
The
Mays? No,
Mm.
Eric. I think I know who you're talking about.
He's the
Eric
head coach
Clinton.
in the White House.
White House. That's
Yes,
where he is.
it's
Okay,
Eric,
okay. But
met him.
they're doing the best they can to try to get some wrestling going
Yes, sir.
around here.
Yes, sir.
And so, great program to put somebody in that's not going to be a football star.
Eric
because-
Ware.
Yeah, that's it.
You
Sorry,
got
bud.
Yep. Sorry, bud. He's one of my customers.
we got you. These guys know.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, he's doing something with 5 and Travis was like, I don't know. And then I caught Travis the next week and he's like, hey, I took Houston up to talk to Coach Rock and just tell him thanks. And he said that you were like in a room with some other guys and you told them to get out and you told them to come in and he said shut the door. And like, I don't even want to mess up the story, but like it just sounds like That's all I know. Like
Okay.
whatever Travis told me on that day, and
Yes,
then
sir.
boom, all of a sudden it's
Boom.
like
Yeah.
this stuff's going. And you and I texted a couple of times because we
Yeah.
were terrified. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Sebastian, Bobby loves you. I mean, it's a
And
big
he's had
deal.
some serious growth,
Oh,
going through
yeah,
that.
dude, it's been life changing. It's changed our household, the way we operate, the way he interfaces with friends, family, people at church. I mean, the world. It's been huge, way beyond his exploits in jiu-jitsu, because right now, he's 1 for 2. So
Yeah.
professional career,
Okay.
tell the tape,
Okay.
But tell us what's going on, man. We've the last time we had you came from Brazil to California to Brazil to California, and then you went from California to Tyler, and then
Yes, sir.
boom, you
Boom.
had Gracie Baja, and then you got a house, and like it was full, everything's rolling, and
Yeah.
now it's like,
Now everything has changed.
yeah, I mean,
Tell us.
but from what I've heard, and I'm assuming what you're going to tell me
Yes,
is
sir.
God was like, nope, we're doing something different.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see where we start. Let's say this. Me and my wife, when we came here, it was never the pigs. It was a
Yeah.
purpose. It was Gracie
Yeah.
Baja. And I'm so grateful for the time that I was there. And but there was a purpose to be fulfilled, and we were praying because we knew that the Lord would start a new season in our lives. So me and my wife, she's like one day saying, "Hey, we need to start praying at 3 a.m. for 7 days." She came out of the blue and said that, out of the heaven. I was like, it was the first time we ever done this. We had done fasting, but like wake up for a week at 3 a.m. I was like, okay, let's do this, because we were about to take a decision, right? We knew that the guy of the manager of Gracie Baja, he's also leaving at the time, so he was going to do a offer to us to stay, and then for the last 5 years, that's what was told to us. Whenever they were leaving, we were going to have opportunity to become, the, let's say this, the part owners, and be there, and have our chance as they have. So
Mhm.
but then we start praying at those 3 a.m.s, and then by the last day we had an answer, and it was crazy because I was there for 5 years. I've met so many people, and I had so much good relationships. I have love for the place, for the people, So me as a natural man, I was like, I think this is it. This is where the Lord wants us to
Yeah.
stay. Even that, like, I wanted to do things that the way God wants me to do it, and there I couldn't do it, but
Yeah, I
and
see
then
your Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu
yeah,
shirt.
yeah. So I couldn't,
Because we asked you about that,
Yeah.
and you said, well,
Yeah.
like if the parents are okay with it, but
Yeah.
like under that hierarchy, you
Right.
couldn't just come out
Yeah.
on the mat and be
No.
like, hey,
Yeah.
And I think that's an appropriate way to approach things. Because, like, obviously we want to be the voice crying in the wilderness,
Yeah.
telling people about Jesus and
Yeah.
everything. Everybody hears everything. But, when you're dealing with relationships,
Yeah.
you kind of have to manage. Like, you can't just be like, hey, by the way, I told your son the gospel today. And now he's going to start coming to church with me. I get that you guys don't believe him, but like, that's what we're doing.
we've definitely had some like Bobby's friends spend the night, and like I don't feel like maybe they go to church. I never asked,
Right.
but like they spent the night on a Saturday night, and they were at church with us on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
It feels a little sketchy, but like
But that's the navigating the
we just fed them
relationships.
donuts and let them have fun.
Yeah,
It's like we
exactly.
didn't
Like-
like drag them down to a river and go about to baptize
Baptize
you,
you
boy."
now, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could have.
Yeah, it definitely could have, but probably wouldn't be coming back again.
Yeah, but I think it's important. Rock is exceptionally gifted at developing a relationship, at connecting with people, not just children. Because, you could have a kid that Bobby loves you. He loves coming, training with you. He respects you. He looks at you in a way that he doesn't look at me or his mom.
Mhm.
Right? But we also love and respect you.
Right. So
Right?
we're good
if
with
we
it.
didn't like you,
Yeah.
then maybe Bobby just likes you.
Yeah.
And like
Mhm.
the money comes from the grown-ups,
Right.
So
Yeah,
like there's a
yeah.
lot of I ran into that in my life. There were people that I wanted to spend time with, but my parents didn't make an effort with it for whatever reason. They were probably right, you know. And then
Yeah.
that was the end of my communication with those people,
Yeah.
you know. So you've made these bonds with people. You spent 5 years, and you
Yeah.
know, humble, you know,
Mhm.
just serving with a servant's heart at Gracie Baja. And so y'all prayed. Y'all woke up every day for 7 days at 3 in the
At 3 in the
morning
morning.
and
Yeah.
prayed.
Yeah. And then on the 6th day, then we had the answer. It was Monday, 3 a.m. And then God spoke to our heart, and we had the answer there. And I was full of emotions because the answer wasn't what I was expecting.
Right.
You know, because I was like, yeah, we're staying. Yeah, this is it. You know, and then the Lord said, no, your time is over. Your season is over. And I was like, man, you know, and then I was like, okay. So I didn't ask anything. But at the other hand, too, I was happy because, okay, does that mean that I got to do my own thing? I had full of emotions, to be honest.
Mhm.
So then I got the answer, and then there's Monday, and then there's Tuesday. On that Tuesday, we were having the meeting with the guys from Gracie Baja, you know, and so on the meeting, the Lord was clear. He's like, I don't want you to listen to the offer. If it's 10,000 or two, you're not staying. So don't let him offer you. I was like, okay. So we talked to my wife, and then we came to the meeting, and then you know, and then I started the way, you know, because one of the reasons the Lord revealed to me 2 years ago that one of the reasons that I stayed there is because of the people, because of connections and blessing people and being blessed too. And but then it was also for this guy. He was a missionary a couple of years ago, and he left church hurt.
Yep.
So, and then the Lord wants me to pour into his life, you know. And the way I started talking to him is like, hey man, you know, the Lord spoke to my heart, and then my time to sow seeds on your life is over. You know, and I hope that you really got those seeds and grow and got to go back to a relationship with the Lord. It's not about church. It's about you and God and in your relationship with the God. And it was crazy because then he started crying.
Yeah.
And then I started crying and his wife started crying, and we end up like hugging each other.
Bro,
You
I'm
know,
about to start crying right now.
man, it was crazy.
Golly.
You know,
Yeah.
because I was ready to say stuff that I wanted to say, but then when I start opening up my mouth, and then the Holy Spirit took over and then saying all that, because I was gonna tell, hey man, you know, the Lord told me to, you know, be done, but that's not what I said.
Yeah.
So then we start like having this moment, and then he understand that, and then but his wife like she wanna talk about the offer and the money, and then and he's like, no, you don't understand what he said. He said that this is a goodbye,
Mhm.
and she's like, what? Yeah, it's a goodbye. He's like, yeah. So we're you know our time here is over, and then
This is with the former managers.
yes.
Okay.
With him and his wife,
Oh.
we sat together. It was me, my wife too. It was four of us. You know, was the gym was closed, and we got to have this talk, and then got the Holy Spirit took over, and then from there he's like, "What are you gonna do?" I was like, "I don't know, man. You know, to be honest, I was surprised because I thought that I was gonna stay here." And the Lord just told me that. And then, you know, because I've told him before about this mission, about, hey, man, the Lord is waiting for you. It was not the first time, not the
Mhm.
second, not the third. He knew I was sitting there for him to see a closer relationship with God. So,
So you think that part of the reason that you ended up at Gracie Baja
yes, sir.
was to witness
Yes, sir.
to the guy that was effectively your boss?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, one of the reasons was that
Did it
for him to
did,
reconnect.
did that take good? Did that go good?
So till then, yeah, it went good. You know,
Until you were telling him, hey,
yes. Well, until this point, it was perfect.
okay,
You know, we got to hug each other, and we got to, you know, we had moments. I've told him stuff. He saw the way I do stuff, and he saw the way things were going. But then when I told him that, you know, he was, you know, we were in emotion. We hug each other. Hey, man, I love you. I learned so much with you. And then I told him the same thing. I learned so much stuff from him too.
hmm
But then that was Tuesday. Let's go on the weekday, right? That was Tuesday. And then I was like, hey, I'm going to give you my 30 days. And I know you're moving too, because he was moving too, in the process of moving out of $2. So I don't want to leave you hanging. I don't want to leave you shorthand. So I'll be here for 30 days and helping you until you find a black belt, because that's not a big problem. But at the least, I don't want to just, hey, I'm going.
Yeah.
Bye, right.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
give him the right
you
time.
did the right thing.
Yeah.
So cool. And then Wednesday, I start talking to the staff, to my coaches, Joaquin and everybody. Everybody was just like, what happened? I was even like, man, this is, So I talked to some people Wednesday and Thursday. When comes Thursday, on that Thursdays, everything started like becoming hard because, then I sat to talk in front of the kids. I thought it was going to be easy, man.
Yeah.
For real, like, that was like, I got my throat closed, I start saying, and then I was like, man, and then I start crying, and then some of the little kids came and jumped on me, man. I was like, man. They just
like
brought,
they attack you. They sense
just
the weakness. Could they smell the fear?
And then one day hugged me. I was like, okay, I can.
Yeah.
It'll be easy to say it. So I told them that my time was over, and I even read to them like, hey, I read Ecclesiastics and say that there's time for everything, and I tried to explain that to them. So anyway, then on that Thursday, I told the parents, the kids, and I told the adults. It was hard, man. It was like, I was like, wow. But at the same time, I felt that relief that I was doing what God wants me to do. So then everybody was like, where are you going? I was like, I don't know. I don't know where am I going. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So then people, are you going back to California? Are you going back to Brazil? I was like, no, I don't know. I just don't know. But then that Thursday was over. And then Friday morning, the guy from Gracie Baja, like, hey, man, you might be doing this under emotion or something, but I just want you to know, if you want to go back, if you want to stay, I can make things happen, and you're more than welcome to stay. And then again, it wasn't me. The Holy Spirit pop out in my mouth like, hey, I'm grateful for you to think in me and my family, but the Lord is the Lord of yes, yes, and no, no. And he told me that my time is over, and I'm grateful. Thank you for offering. Thank you for thinking in me, but we're gone. We're just, but well, we're going to be without money. You're going to be without work. And then on that process, we were like, okay, let's talk to my father-in-law and sell the house, because we couldn't. I didn't know how I was going to pay for my bills in July. Bottom line, like, okay, Lord, I'm done, but how about the bills? Yeah. I have no clue. Right, in summer, everybody going away. Like the privates go low because everybody's on vacation. But anyway, then on that Friday, I was like, I told my wife, I said, hey, babe, I need to go train. So, and then I left to Dallas to go train at 5 Highland Village. So I got there, and then I went to Pojada, man. It was good, I got my butt whooped. I had some amazing time. And then after done, I talked to Professor Formiga. He's like, hey, Professor, I just want to let you know I gave 30 days of Gracie Baja. And he's like, his eyes like were this big. He's like, what are you gonna do, Rock? I was like, I don't know. Again, I had to say I don't know so many times because I actually did not know, right? And then I talked to him, and then he's like, hey, man, I don't know if I had the courage to do this. Because let's say this, back in time, I started training with him in January. He opened up his doors for me, like in a way that I was embarrassed. Like, guy's so humble, the guy's so nice, and guy's 14 times world champion and 13 times Pan Am champion. So he's a legend in Jiu-Jitsu, right? So but if you go to his gym, you think that he's nobody. The way he's humble, I was like, what is that? He walked off the mat, shook my hand, shook my wife's hand, and my kids. I was like, okay, something's different here. So anyway, he opened his doors and invited me to train. And on that day, but there was a little bit of misunderstanding because in April, I couldn't make it because my daughter's birthday and we were away in California. So on that time that we were not coming, the guy from Gracie Baja, Tyler, Tosha, I'll call him Tosha, he was, I knew that he was going to open a gym somewhere in Dallas. That's what he told me. So then he opened the gym, he posted, and we were in California. And then the gym is like, oh, yeah, it's Gracie Baja Highland Village. Cool, nothing big. But then when I came back from California, I had the meeting with the guy from Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu. I was trying to have this meeting for a year. and I finally had with Isaac. So we were having.
Where's he at?
He's in 55 Highland Village. He's
Really?
Yes, he's there. So he's when I was like, dude,
Shut up.
I'm trying to find this guy for a lifetime, and he's
Yeah.
here. I was like, okay, I see what you're doing, Lord. But then we got to have a meeting with this guy.
To put things in perspective, if you're not familiar with the geography here,
Yeah.
Highland Village is a couple hours from us.
Yes.
Which in Texas is impressive. That's
Right.
really close.
Yeah.
That's like we might go there to have a sandwich.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then drive right back.
Yeah.
You know, have
Yeah.
a drink on the
If
way
you're
back.
in California or New York and you don't understand that, you're
Yeah.
like, this is Metroplex DFW area, but it's
Yeah.
only a couple hours from
Yeah,
us.
2 hours from my house is 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I came back from California. I was like, man, I need to go back to train. And I had a meeting with Isaac on the phone, and he's saying, hey, Rock, you need to talk to Professor Formiga. He's a little upset with you. I was like, upset with me? I was like, what happened, man? Hey, man, you know that your Gracie Baja is open down the road from here, right? I was like, what? And then, so anyway, end up that he's opening up the Gracie Baja Dallas. It's in Highland Village, like 5 minutes down the road from Professor Formiga, which it causes a lot of
Confusion.
but then confusion, and then I was misunderstood as I've been sending over there to watch the place and watch the area. They thought that I was sent by Tasha.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, there was this misunderstanding, and then but I called him right away. I explained myself, and he was so happy that I was able to call and talk to him, and my wife talked to his wife. We actually meet in person at the Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu that Marcos Buchecha came, and that was some point in May or June, something like that. It was June, I think. So anyway, so we explained ourselves to him, but again, I'm new, in there, so it's kind of like, is this guy telling me the truth? Is this guy
Right.
just, And I told him, hey man, I have nothing to do with this. I didn't know, But again, then come back into the Friday that I sat and talked with him. He's like, I gave Gracie Baja 30 days. He was like, I could see in his eyes that like, oh, this guy was not lying to me.
Yeah.
So, and then he's like, hey man, I don't have the money to help you financially, but I have contacts. People call me every month to, hey, do you have a black belt that I can trust? I was like, yeah, people call me. I was like, I'm going to help you. Come with your family. I know it's a little bit far, but come and train here. Be here with me. Become my student. I was like, dude, this guy's invited me to be his student. I was like, okay, So I felt so honored. And then that's what, I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. So then I start talking to him, and it's like, you didn't have to do this to prove nothing to me. Because he thought that I gave 30 days because of the misunderstanding. I was like, no, man, that's not this. We've been there for 5 years. We've been praying for 5 years, and we were just waiting for what's the next of God. So, and God told us to leave. So anyway, he invited me, and everything happened. So go detail by detail. If my wife was here, she would have be elbowing me and like, hey,
Don't forget to
stop saying so much details.
Yeah.
But then I felt so honored to be invited to train with him, but I was like, man, I train, and it's like, come and be my student. It's like, okay. And then he mentioned that one of his black belts, it's leaving from a gym that he knows, and then he could have like, hey, I can put you there, but that's in Dallas. So I was like, oh man, I feel like, okay, I see a light in the end of the tunnel. I have a job to provide to my family, but at the same time, it's like, I don't feel that my mission is done in Tyler. I was happy, but not happy. I was like, okay, that's the first thing that came out to me on Friday. So then I was like happy, I was like, man, I have a job already. I just gave 30 days a couple of days ago. Anyway, and then before I left Dallas, I just got curious, and then I went to down the road. I put it on the GPS time. It's like, hey, let me see where's that Gracie Baja at. And it's literally like GPS time, 5 minutes on the same road, down the road, like on the same road. And then I was like, oh man, okay. So anyway, man, and then I came back, I drive back home, and then there's more details, but maybe we'll talk about the details later.
Yeah.
About everything, because otherwise, anyway. So then I was driving back home, and then I opened my phone, and then there saw a text. Hey, Professor Rock, we're so sad that you're leaving. We've been praying for you. And I have my father-in-law. He has a building, and maybe there's a place that you can give some privates until you know what you're gonna do. I was like, oh, cool, because it was like the only thing I can make money now is doing privates. And as soon as I'm out of there, I had 30 days at there. I could do privates there, but as soon as I'm out of there, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
So then, okay, I was like, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Of course, I can talk to your father-in-law, and it'll be great. I'll have a place to do privates. But then Friday night, he's like, hey, can you meet us tomorrow morning? That was a Saturday, right? So back on time, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So can you meet Saturday 9:30 at the building? It's like, sure. Then, man, me and my wife, we went there, and it was all of us, Rachel, Ethan, our kids, and we come into the building, and there's that feeling. Okay. So then we come in, and it was just amazing, And I was like, oh, it might be one of these little rooms here. Yeah, to do a private, right? And then they came in, and we talked, sat on the table. I got to meet the man, Mr. Skip. So we've talked. He showed me the layout of the building and everything, and he was talking how did he get that building. He got that building maybe 2 years ago, and he didn't know what to do with the building, and he rebuilt the building nobody ever used. He rejected so many people trying to rent the building because he didn't want the people in there. So he used the building to put his bikes, his cars, his garage, because he owns a building right on the side. So anyway, he was talking all that, and I was just like, I don't know. I just had the feeling, and then I felt my throat closing again. And all of a sudden, man, this man that I just met in front of me, he starts saying that, hey, Brock, I don't know you, man, but I'm going to help you. And I'm going to help you build your gym. And I'm going to give you this building and help you build your gym. And I didn't know what he meant by that, man. It's just
give me a gym.
Yeah. And
What's that mean?
What does that mean? And I was like, and then I start crying already, because I knew that the provision would have come. I knew that, but I did not know how. So then I start crying. And then my wife has to step in to talk to the guy, and but then once I was a little bit, okay,
calm down.
I can't hear you now. He's like, yes, I'm gonna give you this building for a certain time without rent. You're not gonna pay. I'm gonna help you to build your gym. I was like, okay. I thought it would be a conversation about having a room for privates. All of a sudden,
not a whole building.
Boom. So then, man. And then while we were talking, he was telling things that happened. How did he get that? And when did he get that? And I was like, okay. On that day, he showed us around again, and he showed us his building on the side. I couldn't talk so much because I was overwhelmed. And on that very day, on that Saturday morning, he gave us the key of the building. He's like, here you go. Here's the key. I couldn't even take the key. So my wife took the key because all I could do is just cry.
Yeah.
It was him and his son-in-law, Matt, one of my students. And anyway, man, it's just, it happened like this. He gave us the key on that very Saturday. And we couldn't understand, what was going on. And then he left for a couple of minutes. He's like, hey, I'm going to leave you guys here to see. And as soon as he left, man, I ran into the middle of the building. I put my mouth on the floor, and I just started crying, because I couldn't do nothing but that. So I poured out that place, and it was like this, Then that was Saturday. We were there. We were crying, and we put some worship and thanking the Lord, and then Sunday came by, and then he's like, Rock, can we meet again? I was like, sure. So we meet again on Monday. I was like, man, I don't want to cry again. So we went over there, and then we had the key ready. I was like,
you want it back?
I was like, oh, man. So we sat and talked again, and he's like, Rock, what's the name of your gym? I was like, I don't know. I didn't. I mean, I didn't
Hadn't
have
got
a
that
name.
far yet.
I did. I mean, I was just like, you know, I was grateful. I knew it was gonna come, but I didn't know it was gonna come like this fast. And then, but then we were talking, and he needs this. Oh, I need this for the lease. I need that. I need the name. I need. I was like, okay, I guess I gotta go to work, right?
Mhm.
So then, before we left again, he's like, Rock, I don't know what's your financial situation, but I feel in my heart that I'm gonna buy the mats for the gym. And then I start crying again.
So that's like one of the most expensive things.
Substantial.
That's
Substantial.
Yeah,
that's
I would
like
believe that.
most of the gyms, the only thing they have is the mats.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh man, it's just okay, God, because the place is nice, it's beautiful, it's new, but it's huge.
Hmm.
Like I was not even thinking that, but now I think like, okay, you gave me that building. How am I supposed to put a mat here?
Right. Yeah.
Because the last 5 years financially for us, it wasn't good.
Hmm.
So we couldn't do nothing, man. The bottom line is I couldn't do anything. My mind is like when the first notice that the Lord told me no, I was like, oh yeah, maybe now I'll go to I found a place in North Tyler, a little warehouse, and then I rent that place, and and I started a gym there. I started my own thing. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I go to North Tyler. Nobody wants to go to North Tyler, and then I go there, and then we'll see. But then this guy tells me to do. He gives me the key, and then next day he's like, "Here, I'll buy the mats, and then you pay me down the road." I was like, "What?" So he told me to get some estimates. I got 3 estimates. The cheapest one was $21,000 to put it on the floor. On the floor, 2 inches match. I was like, oh, okay. So then I gave it to him, and he's like, hey, let's talk. Okay. So he called me into the building. He's like, how's the building? The building is awesome. So if the building is awesome, everything here is awesome, I don't want nothing cheap here. Get the best mat.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I like this guy.
Yeah,
Man,
Yeah, he gets it. Yeah.
He even mentioned that, like, the building is awesome. He didn't say that. He asked me, Rock, what do you see? What do you think about the building? It's like, oh, it's awesome. So, and then he's like, well, yeah, but the black belt is awesome. I was like, I was looking around. Oh, it's me.
Yeah. you're
I
like
I just like I was like, oh, okay. So he's like, I don't need nothing cheap here. So give me the best mat. I was like, okay. So then I got the best mat, floor spring system, everything nice, and I gave it to him, thinking that, oh, maybe it's gonna be too expensive. And
It was
he's
like 40 grand.
yeah, it was 35.
Yeah.
That's like 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may as well be
Yeah.
spending 40.
Yeah.
Brother,
So,
it looked nice. I saw some videos of
Yeah.
y'all putting it up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
that looks like that's going to be really sturdy and more comfortable than the other mats I've seen.
Hey, it's just like, and then he just, okay, pay. I was like, oh man. So, and then that's the part that I said, okay, all right, I see you, Lord. I see everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
But then here comes something in my mind, right? So let's go talk about this right now. The building. Where's the building at? This place. It's 5 minutes down from GB, the place I used to work.
Yeah.
So then I start, Lord, Tyler, it's huge. It's big. So why that building has to be over there? Like, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, it could have been closer to my house.
Yeah, absolutely. If you'd have parked in next door or something, I probably would have started taking class from you.
That's what I'm saying, because
That's
I
not
was
what I
like,
mean.
man, and then I start questioning what the Lord has done, because I didn't want it. I didn't. Like I was telling, if it was me, I was not gonna do over there.
Mhm.
But then the Lord told me to shush. It's like, you did nothing. You could do nothing. So
Yeah, he did it.
yes,
You know what you are? You're a donkey.
yeah. Here we go. I'm a donkey.
That's
So
right.
then the donkey, shush, don't talk.
Yep.
So then that time I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna say that anymore. I'm not even gonna feel bad anymore, because I knew, and everybody knew around me, that I could not do that. So who's doing that? That's the Lord Almighty, the Most High God. I couldn't do that. Now, who in the world is gonna give you a building on the first day that this person met you and is gonna buy a mat for you and is gonna here's the key on the first day you met
Yeah.
him? So it's like I was like, I'm sorry, Lord, I'm not even gonna say that anymore.
Yeah.
And for some people, it's just like, it was wrong what I did, and some people are like, oh yeah, he did this on purpose and he did that. At the end of the day, the Lord knows what happened. He
Yeah.
was the one who made it happen. So I'm not worrying about it. I don't
And-
feel that I was wrong anymore.
Right.
You know.
And at the end of the day, like your heart of hearts, whenever you're like trying to navigate this situation in the very beginning, after y'all were getting up and praying at 3
Yes.
a.m.,
Yes, sir.
everything, right? Whenever you had the situation where they probably would have hooked you up. You know what I mean? Like they would have looked after you and been like, do this, don't do the 30 days. Like we can work something out. But
Yeah,
your heart
yeah.
of hearts,
Yeah.
God was telling you,
Yeah.
like the voice of the potter.
Yes.
You're the clay. Like
Yes,
he's
yes.
the
Yes.
potter, we're the clay.
Yes, sir.
And whenever, you're like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I could probably make some money that way. I could probably do this. I could probably do that and make it work. But the reality is you wouldn't have had the same confirmation and conversation that you would have had with that gentleman who gave you the building.
Yes.
Because, like, I imagine whenever, like, people would be like, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? There was a red
Exactly.
light. There was
Exactly.
red light, a spiritual red light that
Yeah.
makes you say, listen, I appreciate the offer. I appreciate the opportunity
Yes, sir.
that y'all are trying to do. But then that green light comes on, you're like,
Well, it's like he said, God told me don't even listen to the offer.
exactly.
And so recurring theme in your life, Rock,
Obedience.
is you're just so willing to just do it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't question God.
No.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's my time's over. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the offer. No problem.
Yep.
Be gracious, be humble. Got it. And then the blessing on the flip side, and then you're so humble, you even go, wait a minute, the optics of this are bad because they put a Gracie Baja right down the street from Double Five, and now I'm starting to dream right down the street from Gracie Baja. And then you get the answer, hey, you didn't do it.
Right.
Which is like, I always like that,
Yeah.
God, you know what I mean? Like,
It's not about
I'm
you.
trying to be humble. I think I'm humble, and I still, in my humility, can come with some pride and ego.
Yeah.
And God's like, nah, shut up.
Yeah.
I love
Get off
that.
your high
I
horse.
love that. Yeah. So it's but like what a crazy story arc.
It is, man. It is
Because
crazy.
we didn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
didn't know, that you had traveled, that they were opening another. Like
No.
most people,
Yeah.
probably a couple people.
No,
knew,
yeah,
but
it's like very few people know this. When you
Right now.
when you invite me to a day, man, I was like, I can't believe this dude is calling me to go there. That's why I was like, man, I was working.
with you, dude. I was not expecting to record today. I was like, okay, well, we're not recording. I'm
Yeah.
going to do this.
Yeah.
And then he said, I was like, okay.
Yeah, my wife, baby, please don't get at home midnight again. 'Cause they're like, we need to get the gym ready. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I promise I won't be at midnight. But I feel like this is something that that the Lord wants to happen today before tomorrow, because tomorrow's the soft open. So I was like, man, I think this is something that is just the Lord is telling me to come and do it.
yeah.
And you invite me. I was gonna tell you, hey man, can we talk? And then this guy invited me. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
man, it's just crazy,
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you because we texted a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, are you moving somewhere else?
Yeah.
And you're like, you won't believe all these things. If I told you, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, try me, bud. I don't believe it. Because similar in my life, multiple times. And I'm a little more hard-headed than you. I don't think that I listen as good to God, but like, the last several years of my life have been pretty wild, and I've talked about it a little bit on here, but like I definitely Like I've been in prayer heavy the last 6 months or so. God, what do you want me to do?
Hmm.
You know, you want me to be a janitor somewhere? I'll do that. You want me to sell insurance? I'll do that. And it's weird because my brother moved home from Colorado. He's been gone for a long time, and he got a job selling cars at the Kia store. And then I was like, God, you want me to sell cars? And then, I went up, had an interview there. They didn't even ask me any questions. They're like, when can you start? And so I was selling cars at the Chevy store.
Okay.
It's just I said, whatever. But then my second week selling cars, I sold 5 cars or something pretty quick. And I get a phone call, and it's Jeff Butler. He's like, I got a buddy that needs $500,000 of life insurance as soon as possible. I'm like, you can't be making this stuff up, right? And then this month started, we've had Friday and Saturday, first and the second. I sold a car on Friday. I sold a car on Saturday. My brother sold a car on Friday. He sold a car on Saturday. I was like, well, we'll see who sells the most cars this month.
That's cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I've gotten to interface and meet with people. And I think that's the problem. Like insurance, people were resistant to it. Even though it helps them, they need it.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm just sitting in the house by myself with my dogs, which is a nice thing to do if you're not at work. But when you're working, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Well, like I've gotten to meet so many people, and like super, there's a family that I worked with on Friday that clearly has some turmoil going on, and I got to help them and like they needed a car, I got to be there for that. And then this super wonderful lady got a new Tahoe yesterday from me, but like I met her 7 or 8 days ago, and she was telling me, she was like a lifetime educator, and she sang opera. She just had this great, and we started talking about the Methodist Church and how Marvin left the UMC because of all the stuff. I guess I'm getting that right, but anyway, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I've just gotten to like care for people and love on people in a different way, knee to knee, face to face, not on the phone, not on a FaceTime Zoom call or whatever. And so like I was always jealous because I get to see you do that, and like that's like I went to college to help people.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a counselor, right? Which is a funny thing to want to be because that means you get to listen to people's problems.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't fix them all. And like the guy we had, I don't know if you heard any of the other episodes, but we had a guy Trent on last time that we had an episode out. And he said something to the effect of like, you can't save your children from their testimony. The problem is that they might not ever be able to share it with somebody.
Yeah.
You got to let them fail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, God, I learned from you. I see you do it with so much faith and like almost no fear. It looks like you're just comfortable. Just, okay, yeah, I'll just quit my job. I'll just move across the country. I'll move across the universe,
Yeah.
I'll move from wherever, you're just like, I'll do it. And I want to have that same willingness. And I'm trying to do it in this area too, not just in my marriage or just in my household or what kind of vehicle I drive or what kind of dogs I have or how I am with my children, but I'm trying to do it in all areas, And I think it's easy for us to focus on, I'm going to be this way at church, or this is what I'm going to do with my kids, or this is how I'm going to interface with my wife. But there's always that one thing that we seem to pull back.
Yeah.
But like that one thing for you is all of the things, like what you do isn't who you are. Like you could be a karate instructor, a car detailer, like whatever you're going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be the fruit that you give out. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get relationships. You're going to get trust. You're going to get respect because you're deserving of it, And I think you get that because you submit to God.
Yeah.
Say, okay, God, I'll get up
and you've got
pray,
and you've got a unified front. You know what I mean? Like
yes,
you have
dude,
your wife.
Your wife is
you
in
have
your
your
corner.
family
Yeah.
that's in your corner. That is a huge blessing for you.
And I've had some talks with her, and she was just like I've heard some of her side of things.
Yeah.
Like just waiting around at jiu-jitsu class,
Yeah.
And like, you got a powerful woman.
Yeah, man, it's been like people think that when they see a black belt, they think, oh, this guy is awesome. But
Yeah.
the bottom line is, if it wasn't for my wife, I was not even gonna be a black belt. See, because when I start this, it was good. I just enjoy it, when I just enjoy it to train.
Yeah.
But I didn't see nothing in this that's like, oh, I just enjoy it so much. And then it, when I moved here, and then I met my wife, I was still a white belt. And then, hey, let's go train. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was a white belt. She never stepped on the mat before. And I remember one of those days that I brought her to the mat. I was a white belt. She was a white belt. And then she told me something that I will never forget. She's like, babe, when I saw you, I didn't know what jiu-jitsu was, but I just saw that you were doing that with your whole heart. And the Lord told me that would have walked with you forever. And I was like, back then, I was like, okay, maybe just cool, right? But today I understand.
Yeah.
Today I understand what God revealed to her our ministry.
Yeah.
Because and then we got a blue belt, and then so many times, I don't say this because I have bad feelings, because I'm clear with my mom, but I would have come to my mom's house with my family to have dinner, and my mom like, we would have just walk out of the gym and go there, have dinner with her. She's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, why you stop working to go do this jiu-jitsu thing that you stop working and you're going there? Like, you stop making money, you have family, you have to provide to your family. Why are you doing this? You're wasting your time. And then for so many times, I was like, she's right.
This is crazy.
I mean, yeah, like she's right.
She has a
because
point.
She has a point. Like, I was like, okay, man, we start when we met. I was broke, broken heart, broken money, broke everything. I was in pieces, right? Broke spirit. So then when we met, it's like, oh, let's do this. We loved each other's company so much that's like, okay, let's do something together. What we can do together to work? Oh, let's clean houses. Like, oh, okay, let's go. We started with one client. We ended up having 80.
Yeah.
Word of mouth. We had no Facebook, no nothing. Word of mouth. So then we build our schedule like this, and then all of a sudden my mom like, hey, you need to stop doing this. Like, oh, okay. So then I would come to my wife, hey babe, I think my mom was right. Why am I stopping making money to go there to teach? Not teach, because the place I came from, the coaches don't open up their mouths. So if you're blue, purple, brown, your coach, the only one who speaks is the professor, the black belt. That's it. So I was there for years, just like watching, and pulling the kids like, hey, go around, go listen to professor. Hey, go. That's all I did. I was watching, right? So then so many times I came to my wife like, babe, I think my mom's right. She's like, no, don't listen to her. That's your call. Go back. Baby, I have to stop work. I don't care. Go do your thing. So I was just like, she had no idea that what's happening today, but she believed it first. She saw it first. She believed it first. Like my own mom telling me to stop working, to stop doing this and go back to work, what makes the whole sense. But my wife, no, you're not doing that. So many times, like, why am I doing this? Why am I, stopping making money and doing this? But then later on, it was everything worth it. Everything. It was just like so many times my wife would go to a tournament with me, and we have Rachel, baby Rachel. Like, man, there's this day I never forgot. I fought 11 times, and this day it was like all day long, and she was there with the 1 year baby from 9 a.m. to 4 or 5 p.m. And the baby, I was like, man, this is what, if that's not support, I don't even know what it is. It was since day one. She saw it first, she believed it first, and then it's just like, man, that's what the importance, like our logo now, it's a eagle landing on a nest with 3 baby eagles on top of the rock. So people are like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, it is cool, but what it means, this is what is important. So we stand for family. There's a meaning, the mama eagle landing on the rock, on the nest to feed the kids, to feed the babies. and the nest, the house, right? And the rock is the dad, the provider, the protector, the one who's gonna be the safe place for the family.
Mm.
And this is what we stand for. That's our logo. It's not a cool logo. It's I never seen it in no place. I made a draw, and I asked a friend to make it, and I was like, this is so cool. But this is what it is since day one. She believed it first. I couldn't make it. I tell you, not I'm not trying to, say this to my wife to like feel good. It's just the bottom line. I could not make it. Even go find Professor Formiga last year. She's like, hey, I think it's time for you to go back to compete. I think it's time. When we go back to Dallas, we were on the way back from California around November. She's like, you need to go find a place for you to train, and you're gonna go back to compete. And I was like, what? And like, I thought we were done with this. I was just competing to motivate my students and show them that we can do it. But she's like, no, it's time for you to go back. I was like, okay. So that's how we end up finding Professor Formiga, because she sees us first. I was like, oh man, this is just crazy.
Well, what's going on with that? Are you now going to be an extension, like hierarchically, you're under Professor Formiga?
Yes, I'll be under him. On that day he invited me to be his students. So now I'm underneath on IBJJF. I'm his student, I'm his black belt, and I'm affiliation of Double Five. So we're gonna have here Double Five Jiu-Jitsu Tyler. And we also have our flag, which is Rock Oliveira, and with the logo. Our dream was to be like, let's say this, our dream back there was to have Eagle Rock Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Eagle would have been meaning my wife, and Rock me.
Yeah.
But then there's somebody took that name in California. So I was like, man,
It's always the California.
yeah,
It ruined everything.
Hey, but man, and then we had another one, Redemption Jiu-Jitsu, and then somebody here in Texas took it. It's like, okay, so what's next? And then the logo, nobody took it. I was like, oh, because I created it. It's like, oh man, that's cool. And it's like, what do we do here, baby? She's like, well, put Rock and put our last name. Will be our family. And the logo was like, oh, cool. So and then Rock Oliveira, that's gonna be our flag right by Double Five Jiu-Jitsu Tyler. It's just crazy, man. Since we're talking about that, I have to share why Double Five, what Double Five means to me.
I was kind of
I was
thinking
about
that
to ask.
myself.
Yeah, so Double Five is a Professor Formiga is the founder of Double Five. I'm gonna let y'all curious about what Double Five means to y'all. I'm gonna share what Double Five means to me.
Okay.
Okay, so if y'all want to know what Double Five is, go Google it. You're gonna know, right?
Okay.
55.
Yeah, exactly. What's the number?
55.
55. Okay, I believe you guys are smart people here, right?
10.
Okay.
So watch this. Remember when I talked to Professor Formiga and I told him that I gave 30 days. So I told you guys here that I put it on the GPS. And what's the GPS time?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Cool. But then here, when I went to see the building, what is the
5 minutes. I'm already there.
So what's the name of the gym?
55.
Double Five.
Double Five. Oh, Double Five, not 55. It's Double Five.
Double Five.
Whoa.
So look something. Double Five. What the five means? Grace. Double grace.
Oh.
So I have done nothing. I have moving the finger to make this happen. So this is just when I understand what God was trying to do, God spoke to my heart. Look, this is the end of a season of Gracie Baja, and this is the beginning of a new season. How did I know that? Because I was not trying to do nothing with nobody. I wanted to be by myself.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Lord, you're gonna tell me what to do, and I'll do whatever you want me to do. But then when I left that day for Miga to go to Gracie Baja, my daughter Rachel has a prophetic gift of drawing and speaking words from the Spirit. She was drawing stuff to me on a sticky note, and I was putting over there because my head was like, how am I supposed to provide to my family? I was not paying attention to her. So when I got to the Gracie Baja Highland Village just to see it, and I was just like, I just want to see it. Where is it? So I stepped out of the truck, and this little sticky note fall, and okay, whatever. And then I closed the door, and I was walking towards the door, and I see that one of the sticky notes, Yeah. This dude, you were there. Were
In
you there,
spirit.
Dad? Man, okay.
Prophet
So
Pat.
so then I was a little bit hard headed. I was trying to step it. Get out of my shoe. It wouldn't come out. And then the Lord said, pick it up and see it. And I was like, okay. So I pick it up and see it and I open up. I'm gonna show it to you guys in a second. But there's a draw of my daughter. When I saw that, I wanted to cry and I felt like a kick of a horse on my chest.
Or a donkey.
A donkey. Donkey! The donkey kicked hard.
Yeah.
And the Lord said, this is the end. I was in front of Gracie Baja Highland Village. The Lord said, this is the end of a season. And this is the beginning of the season. So now it cannot be late. It has to be now because I got to show you.
Yeah, now I'm chomping at the bit to see.
Yeah,
what I'm thinking.
what she draw. So what did she draw? I showed to some close friends. I showed it to my wife. My wife couldn't get it. Sometimes she sees stuff in the spirit, but sometimes, she's like, oh, okay. But what my daughter draw, it was on the way to so now you tell me, don't judge. What do you see? What do you see in that draw?
I see like an atom, I could be wrong. Like a universe thing.
Okay. See, everyone says something different.
What about you, Trey?
Man, when I saw that, I just wanted to cry because it was like so deep in my heart, and the Holy Spirit was whispering on my ear.
Definitely.
I was just, man, this is crazy, and I accepted right there, but I had no clue.
Yeah,
of nothing.
Yeah.
I was just so honored because a couple minutes ago, this guy invited me to be his student.
Right.
But when you see that, oh, nothing, right?
What do you see?
But what do I see? Well, now I'm gonna show you the next picture.
Oh,
and then you're gonna see it. See, what do you see, Trey? Can't even say nothing, huh?
Man, maybe it's two people or two places with like energy in the middle.
Oh, look at this guy, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two people, two places, huh?
Okay.
Look at this guy. So now, I told you that Professor.
Wait a minute. That's a rock.
Huh?
I'm seeing a rock in that now.
Hey, look at this guy. So look, okay, this is a good one. Yeah. So you can zoom when you take the picture, and then see and tell me what you see now.
Oh, it's a shield. No, what is that? What is that?
Does that look familiar? This black thing that you're seeing in there.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
I mean, I'm seeing the 2 points at the top of the thing, and then the center of the.
Does that look anything close to the drawing of my daughter?
Oh! I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an existing academy.
Yes,
and your daughter drew that.
Look at the name of the academy.
Yeah, Rafael Formiga.
Oh. Now you see the kick of the donkey, huh?
Yeah, I see the kick of the
Look
donkey.
at this, man.
Just get out of the way.
Yep.
Man, it's just like
that's Rafael Formiga's logo that she drew before you even saw the thing.
Man, and then when the Lord said this is the beginning of a new season, then he's like, pick it up and I open up.
Yeah.
Bro, I just wanted to cry.
Yeah.
Because 20 minutes ago, he's like, come and be my student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes later.
And then this is the end, the new season.
The new season.
Yeah, because he could have said, hey, I'm glad you're here. We'll see you another time.
Yeah.
But
that's
he
it.
didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
It was more like an adoption.
Yeah.
Understand, right?
Yes.
Am I getting this correct?
Yes.
Because in martial arts in general,
yeah,
you always have to have a hierarchy, a legacy, some kind of who do you look to? What school are you from?
Who you're learning from?
This is important.
Yeah.
This is like Mr. Miyagi, this guy was like Daniel-san.
Yeah.
Paint the fence.
Yeah.
And he was like, yes, sir,
Yes, sir. Yeah. Right there.
It's like adopting somebody.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I would be happy for you to be my student.
Yeah.
And so it's not like probably people that haven't had experiences in this, they would think like, well, of course he wants you as a student, then you have to pay him, you know.
Yeah.
But that's not
the way
that's
it
not the
goes.
point.
No.
The
Yeah.
point is like you being his student represent his whole.
Philosophy, everything.
By the way, he never charged me. He said, "No, you're not paying here. You're welcome in here."
What?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So he's like, "No, man, you just welcome in here." It's like, okay, you and your whole family. It's like, man, you know. And then all this happened, and I knew that there was Friday, and then Saturday, the building, the key, and then I had to call him. It's like, hey, you know, I have something to tell you, Professor. It's like, all this happened. I have this building. I have this. Can I be your affiliation? He's like, yeah. He like screamed like so crazy. He just like I never
So
seen.
is he gonna come down some, and
He's
you're gonna
gonna
go
come
up there some?
No,
and-
I'm going there every week. you
Okay,
know,
okay, yeah,
so,
yeah, 'cause-
but he will come. He can't be here tomorrow because he has a seminar already.
Yeah.
He's getting ready for the awards and soon in Vegas. So he's having seminar for camps for doing this,
Gotcha.
which I was going to do before all that, but now I can't.
Yeah.
You know, so next year. But anyway, he's gonna be coming here for the Grand Open. He's gonna do a seminar. Jiu-Jitsu and Jiu-Jitsu people will come. So
That's
we're
so-
just
so
it's
cool.
just like, man, you know, I just wanted to share that because this is like, dude, you know, you can't make this up. You know,
No.
it's just like something that, you know, like, oh man, you know.
It takes the master's hand to put this stuff together.
Yeah, man.
definitely.
And I asked my daughter, like, what in the world did you draw here? She's like, oh, Daddy,
I don't know.
This is just a bush, 2 bushes. And I saw the innocent look. I was like, Lord, oh man.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know,
Yeah.
and then everything just like boom, you know. And then just to finish it up, like he's like, and then 5 minutes there and then 5 minutes here is like double five, double grace. It's like, wow. I thought I was gonna get crazy. I was like, am I getting crazy? Am I seeing stuff here?
Right.
Or-
Yeah.
because it was too many. I was like, baby, did you see all that? She's like, yeah, baby, I think you're right. It's just too many details.
Mm-hmm.
I was not even gonna pay attention to all those details, and he was just boom, boom, boom. I was like, wow. So, with all that being said, we are Jiu-Jitsu Double Five affiliation, and Professor Formiga is coming, and I'm coming there training. And you know, if there's a place for you to go and have a good train, have a good pahada, it's there, man. Like I said the other time, it's around 30 to 40 black belts on the mat. You know, in Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and now camps and world champions come and teach class and teach seminars. And it's just amazing place. Plus the vibe, the energy, like people are humble. You come into a gym and then you don't feel like, oh, everybody wants to destroy me here.
Yeah. Like everybody wants to
Yeah.
rip you to bits.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
this is going to happen. Right.
Yeah,
Once you go to Pahada.
absolutely.
But like you see that's different because we kill each other, but we don't hurt each other.
Right.
It's different.
Yeah.
We go to a jiu-jitsu high level, train good pahada, but you don't feel that because you can feel it when someone is mean to you training.
Yeah.
You know, or you can see like, oh, this is a high level jiu-jitsu and it's a lot of pressure. It's good. You can feel, but everything comes from him, from the black belt, the energy. Like when you walk in, the students welcoming you and they look in your eyes, they shake your hands. It's just what
Sets
he,
the tone.
yes. So it's
Yeah.
just like, you know, and plus the Jesus and jiu-jitsu people are their students, and you know, they do seminars for free for jiu-jitsu, Jesus and jiu-jitsu to help them. And it's just like, man, I found my place. I found my, you know,
Mhm.
and
No.
but remember,
No, you didn't.
Huh?
You didn't find your place. God put you there.
You see, that's it. I didn't. You remember what I said about my wife? She's like, last year, go back to train. You're gonna have to go find a place for you to train. Like, I was not looking for this,
Mhm.
so she was like, go. I'll support you. Go. It'd be 5 hours driving a week to go train one time a week. I was like, oh man, okay, you know. And then here we go.
Here you are.
All this happened, and you know, and I've known this guy. I didn't know him, but I know he's famous. You know,
Mhm.
I've heard about him. He has some big black belts world champions. But you know, since I was moving here like 5 years ago, it's like, hey, you know, because I knew João Rocha, one of his black belts from English black belts, and he was, you know, top top of the world back then, like 5 years ago. It's like, oh, where's this guy trains? Oh, he trains at double five. I was like, double five? Oh, cool. Baby, when we get there, let me go see this double five.
Mm-hmm.
But we drove 3 days, 3 nights. When we got to
Oh,
Dallas, I was
Tired.
exhausted.
Yeah. We're just gonna keep
But I
on
thought,
going.
like, man, this was the first team that I thought in my mind to go see it. But then I was super tired after 3 days driving, moving with everybody. But I knew it, but I never went there.
Yeah.
But I knew it 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, God is just like,
No, you didn't know it. God told you.
God told you. Yeah. Yeah, I like this guy, man.
You
He's
keep
like,
saddling up your own donkey, but you're the donkey.
Here we go, man. That's it. I mean, what else can I say? You know,
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I'm just a donkey.
That's right.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so obviously y'all are having your soft opening this week.
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Okay.
5 to
So
8. Yes.
you're gonna start doing
regular
schools?
Yeah, regular schedule is Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So regular schedule we have. I can say it here. We have Monday and Wednesday 5 a.m.
Mhm.
for men's, and this is Vale Tudo. Have you heard about this word? This is back in the day when the Gracies started the whole thing. It would have called Vale Tudo, right? So we're gonna do jiu-jitsu for self-defense, like American way, combative jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a class the focus is self-defense. You know, scenario situations. You know, you're gonna fight. It's easy to do armbar in jiu-jitsu sport because you're not gonna get punched in the face.
Right.
But like Mike Tyson says, everything is beautiful until
You get hit in the face.
yeah, exactly. So we're gonna work towards that, you know, because we have old men that they don't want to compete. Not even old, but there's 40 years old men that they don't want to compete. They want to know jujitsu to defend their families,
Yeah.
Mhm.
to defend themselves. So there goes not competition. So we have in this class to you know, hey, we're here for you that wants to learn self defense. We're gonna call it Vale Tudo on our schedule, but it is what it's jujitsu, combative jujitsu. You know, we're gonna show you how to strike, how to knee, how to elbow, how to defend, how to escape. You know, and we're gonna roll. We're gonna have porrada, but we're not gonna strike during the porrada because, you know. But we're gonna practice punching, kneeing, elbow, all that good stuff that's gonna help you if
Y'all
you need
got
to.
heavy bags? Y'all gonna have
We don't have.
bags?
We're gonna hold for now
Okay.
because we don't have a place to put the bags yet. You know, but soon. You know, it's on the project.
Mhm.
But we're gonna hold pads and gonna have that too for now. But yeah, it's those classes will be Monday, Wednesday, 5 a.m.s, and we have 10 a.m.s for homeschool.
Man, you might
So-
have me on that 5 a.m. class.
Yeah,
I'll
see, I might have you guys in there because it's just, you know,
Bro,
it's-
I need to do something. Real talk.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just like, guys, it's for people for men who wants to, you know, trying to do something that they never did before.
Yeah.
Because I've met people that are like, hey man, I always want to do jujitsu, but this guy even told me that he went to a couple gyms, but he was not welcome and nice enough to stay to try a class.
So that's something that I'll point out in the culture of jiu-jitsu. It
Yeah.
can get real cliquish.
Yeah,
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And people like only vibe with their
Yeah.
people and
yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that per
Yeah.
se.
Yeah.
You know, but whenever you're starting to have more people that get an interest into it, and you know, I want a piece of that. I want some, because when especially with men, whenever men see that sense of camaraderie, see that friendship, that
Yeah.
relationship that's
Yeah.
built, usually if we don't have that, we want it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if we want it and we try to go for it, and then everyone's like, you know, this is just for like my people or whatever, then it can get very discouraging, and then that's how you end up getting church hurt. That's how you
Yeah,
get
it's the
jujitsu
same-
hurt.
same thing with churches.
exact same
Yeah.
same concept.
Yeah.
So that's I know that your gym is going to be very welcoming, and you're going to set the tone
The
for
tone, yeah.
for
gotta-
everything. So
yeah, it's gonna be there, man, for people that wants to try it again or
Mhm.
wants to have a different experience.
yeah.
You know, because that's what we're gonna do. You know, it's
So
just
5 a.m.
5 a.m. is Monday, Wednesday, and 10 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday for kids, homeschool.
Homeschool.
And we have 11 a.m. for adults, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which Friday is going to be no gi, the Vale Tudo class, combative jiu-jitsu. And we have classes 4 to 5, 5 to 6 for kids, and then 6 to 7 for adults. We're going to have gi classes for adults and no gi again, Vale Tudo for adults at even too. So we'll be early in the morning, middle of the day, and in the
You're
evening.
gonna have a full schedule.
Full
so
schedule. And Saturdays we're gonna have class too. Plus Saturday we got something cool, guys. We have the men's prayer. You know, so we're gonna have men's prayer. We're gonna start maybe once a week or maybe twice, depending on the response. But the reason for that is just because, you know, I believe the logo is not only for my family, it's for every family that's
A whole
coming in.
structure.
Yes. So
Yeah.
what is the
Mhm.
what is the job of the rock? The job of the rock, the man is the rock of your house.
To be the foundation.
The good foundation. Like, how are you gonna be the foundation if you're not praying, if you're not spending time with God, if you're not being fed? How are you gonna feed your kids?
Yeah.
You know. So we're gonna talk about all those stuff and pray and rise and pray, because, you know, if we're there first and then our kids come, we prepare the way. You know. So
Mhm.
this is one of the most exciting things that I'm excited about it, to start praying with, you know, with mans. And I'm excited, man. You know.
Yeah.
And
y'all don't have showers, do you?
no. Well, not right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
you know, it's
I'm just thinking. I'm already thinking. I'm like, well, if I would go in there on Monday morning at 5, I have to finish the class, drive home, take a shower.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
super awesome.
Very
Yeah.
excited.
So, are y'all gonna be? You know, I know Gracie Baja. It's like you have to have a Gracie Baja gi, or you can't train, or whatever. Y'all have a double 5 gi. You got to have a special gi.
yeah. We have our own gi. We were like running for things, you know, but we're gonna have our own, because I mean, one of the things I learned about them, it looks good, it looks organized, right?
Right.
So I've been in places that there's people, it's just like all kind of geese, or their geese are dirty or stinky or nasty. Or one of the cool things I learned about is the rash guard. It's not, you're not dripping on people's face. And
Yeah.
but we're gonna have our own gi. We're gonna have our own uniforms. A whole line of uniforms in there, uniform guidelines. But we're like, hey, you can never train with your own gi from, you know, because nowadays there's super cool gis, you know. And then some of the students are like, hey, yeah, can I have this gi here and put a patches? Yeah, you can have a gi. We have patches too. You can,
Well, that's cool.
yeah, you
'Cause
know, we're just
one of the things I looked at is like with Sebastian. You know, we wanted to get him a couple more because
Yeah.
it's kind of a pain in the butt to
yeah,
wash it all the time.
yeah.
Well, then like we start looking, and like all the Gracie Baja stuff's like $100, $120. I'm
Yeah.
like, he's like a little kid.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
it's
you
gonna
go
grow
look
out of him.
online, there's $50, $80,
Yeah,
$30.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and maybe they're garbage. I don't know. We didn't buy them because we knew we couldn't use it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's this, you know, there's the variation of stuff. There's so much cool. Jiu-Jitsu exploded, right? There's a whole lines of clothes, of
Mhm.
rash guards. There's rash guards like for a kid. Now, one of my students, like, he bought a black level whatever brand for his kid, a short and a rash guard. It was $110, and the kid is like 7 years old. Like, he bought a pair of shorts, one short and one rash guard, $110.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. So I mean, it's all kind of prices. So we might work with two different brands, you know, until we find our, like, hey, this is our brand. Right now we're gonna work with Fuji and Gameness and maybe Kings. You know,
Okay.
they're good, you know, but again, there's cheaper stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have our patches, and you get the chip in and put the patch in. So
Yeah.
you know, again, we don't want to force people to wear our stuff. We want people to be proud to use that,
Yeah.
and know, hey, this is what we stand for. So we don't have to ask, you know, people are like, hey, I want to do this, I want to represent this, I want to represent the family. So
Yeah, you're not going to have any trouble gaining that
Yeah.
that kind of momentum, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be. with
Everybody's
you.
hungry for that.
yeah, and then the most exciting thing is just like, you know, see the way everything happened, man. It's just crazy. Like, you know, I'm talking about this conversation was the beginning of June, and we were like August 2nd, 3rd. Like,
Second day in August.
and then you know, I've everything is ready. Like, I don't even know how, you know.
Because you didn't do it.
Because I didn't do
That's
because
the point.
because it's the donkey, you know. The
You're
donkey
the
don't do
donkey,
anything,
yeah.
just obey,
That's
you know.
right. He just shows up.
So it's like God
Oh,
is good,
man.
man. It's just
Yeah,
like,
man.
you know, it's just I had to take that out of my chest. Like, man, I gotta, you know.
Yeah.
It's just,
Sebastian's gonna freak out.
he will. He will, because I was just telling you right there, like so many kids they left for vacation, but
Mhm.
none of them like him. I mean, they love, you know, but Sebastian had the attitude of coming and like looking at me and say, "Hey, professor, I'm gonna leave for vacation. I'm gonna miss you, and I hope to see you soon." It's like, man, that's so sweet,
Yeah.
man. You know, it's just like to see the way he has the respect and, you know, the attitude of coming in. You guys came over there just for him to say goodbye, like,
Yeah.
you know. I was like, dude, this is, you know,
Yeah.
this is show
Well-
how important you know what you're doing in there. There is really touching lives, you know.
Mhm.
Well, that's the significance of what God's doing through you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to just be like, you know, Sebastian's awesome and everything. He's very respectful, everything, but also you have poured into his life. You have poured into a lot of people's lives, and that's the relationship that is developed because of the work that the willingness, the obedience that you're willing to do.
You're like a fountain, not a container. So
Exactly.
you're pouring out into these kids, and it's overflowing out of them into every aspect of their life and everybody they touch. But you're not running dry
Mm-hmm.
because you're tapped in
To the kingdom.
Tapped into the kingdom
Yeah.
mindset. You know, you're connected with God. You're obedient to God. So He gives you what to pour. You know,
Bro, let me tell you, I'm crying right now just
Yeah.
because and I haven't even seen your gym.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know what I
man.
mean? I haven't even been there. I haven't experienced your lessons or anything like
you
that.
guys,
But
you guys are more than welcome to come,
Yeah.
because we're gonna have a worship night tonight, a dedication to the Lord
Oh,
before we
really?
open
Tonight?
the doors. Yeah, we're just gonna go there and pray over their place and
Oh, absolutely,
and just
dude.
you know, it's just gonna, hey, this
Yeah.
is what it is. We can't open without dedicate this to the Lord and
yeah,
lift it up that to Him, because without Him we couldn't be here. So
yeah.
Man, what
Yeah.
a story.
What an awesome story.
I'm looking forward to the next update. You know, we'll have to have you back
Yeah.
on again.
Yeah, man,
And
I
Oh.
got 7 more gyms on the way up or something
I've got a question for you.
Yes,
Did
sir.
you get signed up for Freedom Weekend?
I have not, because
Oh.
it's closed.
It's close.
Oh yeah. It closed. It closed like
Okay.
the Father's Day. They opened it,
Okay.
and it was closed within
Within
a week.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But I'll say this: I know some people. You know, like
But I
Hey.
will also say I've signed someone up who's pretty flaky. So
yeah. So I would say like we could text Travis.
Okay.
And be
Yeah.
like, hey man,
Hey.
Rock,
Okay.
you need to go.
Yeah, I want to.
You gotta come.
I want to go. It was
and
it's 24
also
hours,
I
you know?
say I've got a flaky guy. The reason we get a list together of
Mhm.
people in the event that someone isn't able to make it.
okay. Cool.
It may be
might
like
be my
that
spot.
Friday.
Hey,
it may
here we
be
go.
like that Friday night.
Just
and
like today, you know,
exactly.
hey, can you
and
be here?
and we're like, hey, dude, we got the spot for you and everything.
Here
Clear
you go.
out 24 hours. Let your wife know, hey, I'm going to this.
But we get it. You're getting a gym off the ground
Exactly.
too.
Yeah.
You know, if you
Yeah.
want to do it in the spring, we'll have one in the spring.
Hey.
Right? It's in April or
Yeah.
when is it?
First week in April, your anniversary.
Yeah, it's my anniversary weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it needs to be April, it could be April. I'm signed up to be on the team, but I'm also working Monday through Saturday.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, I'll cross that bridge when I get there with
Right.
work. You
Yeah.
know, like, and the reality is going to be is like either it'll make sense and they'll be okay with it,
Or they won't.
or like it's more likely going to be that I can't do it. It won't make sense for me to not be there on a Saturday.
Right.
You know,
Well,
but that's months away right now.
exactly. Yeah.
So just worrying about August right now.
Okay.
Whatever God says, I'm gonna take Rock's lead on that.
Yep.
If God says do this
Whatever
and let
God
him be
says.
mad.
Hey,
then-
I just maybe I didn't have to say, but I'm feeling that I have to share this one more thing.
Oh.
yeah.
So back in Thanksgiving of last year, my brother-in-law came over here, and I took some days off from the gym just to spend time with him and his family. But then I was like, we were training CrossFit right next door. I was like, hey, you want to see the gym? It's like, sure. And then we went over there, and then, as soon as we stepped in, man, I was kind of, I didn't know that was gonna happen. So we step in, and there was the kids class on Saturday, and then all the kids left the mat and running to give me a hug. So I was like, oh man. And then he was teaching over there as I felt. I didn't want to interrupt your class, but they came, hug me, and then I, and then I talked to the parents, and and then okay, cool, we out of there and we back home. He's like, hey, dude, why you don't have your own gym?
Hmm.
I was like,
What do you mean?
yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah. It's like, well, man, I don't have the money. I'm just waiting. Usually, when people hear that, they're just like, oh, okay, why are you waiting? So, hey, man, I'm just waiting. I don't have the money to build my own gym. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
how much money do you need? I was like, I don't know. He's like, dude, I can't. I want to move out of California, and I have $300,000 sitting in the bank that I want to invest in something, and I want to stop working. Can you open the gym with $300,000? Like,
Boy, could I.
it's like, yeah. Then my heart as a human like just exploded in joy, right? It's like, man, that's cool. He's like, let's do it. I want to move here. I don't want to. I just be a silent partner. I just want money coming in.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. Yeah, let me go pray. So then, what do you mean go pray? I was like, yeah, let me go pray, man, and I'll get back to you. So then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then comes January. It's like I was supposed to give him my answer quick, right? Because like, and when with all that being said, I was like, Lord, please talk to me. It's like, Lord, this is it. This is it. This is my chance. This is it, Lord. This is it. Man, I would start getting frustrated, and I started, getting like, Lord, please talk to me. And he was just quiet, just quiet. And then there's this one day that I was like really frustrated, like, please talk to me. We have the money. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said to me, be still.
Yep.
I don't need your help.
Yep.
Mm.
And to like capitalize on that, talking about donkey and stuff like that. The guy that's saddling the horse doesn't tell the horse why he's cinching the saddle this way.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't say like why I'm putting my rope up here. He doesn't say where I'm putting my breast collar. He just does it. And we're supposed to just trust that.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said,
Yeah.
the Lord said, be still. I don't need your help. No.
Mm-hmm.
I was mad. I was sad. Really sad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I told my wife, I was like, hey, God said no. And then I was like, oh man. So then January this year, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, whatever, I told him, hey man, I gotta tell you something. I prayed and I appreciate you, offering that, but God said no.
That's hard.
He said, what? I was like, what do you mean? I was like, hey man, I'm sorry. I don't mean to, offend you or anything. It's just God said no. God said no. I can't do it.
What do you say to
So
that?
so are you gonna be working for somebody for the rest of your life? Somebody that's taking advantage of you or something? And that's literally what I said. I was like, hey, I'm just following orders.
Yeah.
So God said no. And by the way, he's not the first. He might be the last one. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 offers
Mm-hmm.
to that last one. They all would have taken me out of Tyler. Some people want to buy Tyler and have me as their professor.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would have given me partnership. They want to become my owners. They want to become my partners. A lot of people, man. I had students come, hey, let's do this. We can buy. I have the money. I buy, and then you're the professor, and then we're gonna be happy. So then all the time I said, I'll go pray, and God said no. And then this last time, the Lord was like, he wasn't playing. He's like, I don't need your help. Be still. Like, okay. And then I drop. It's like, okay, I don't do nothing.
Yes, sir.
I was like, yes, sir. Then when this guy came and said all that, Mr. Skip, I was like, okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
So there's a word for somebody that's listening to this. Like when you don't understand and you still obey what the Lord's telling you, you got to be in the hand of the God.
Mm-hmm.
He's in control. But sometimes it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
Why am I saying no to my brother-in-law?
You're right.
Why?
That's your family.
It's my
right?
family.
Yeah.
That's what I exactly. You were there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was like,
there.
it's my family. Like he said
Who
that
better to
he's-
have invest than my family?
He's like,
you know?
I'm a silent part. I don't know nothing on jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I just want to move out of here. So
Mhm.
it's like, why not, Lord?
Yeah.
But again, after 8-9 times, I was used to the no already. But
Yeah.
people are not.
Yeah.
They get like, I lost some friendships when I told them no. Because they,
Mhm.
you have to be my professor. I have the money. Let's buy a gym. Let's build a gym. If you're not my professor, it's not going to work. I was like, hey, man, God told me no. Oh, so
Yeah.
it didn't work. So, but again, it's just being that, learning that obedience. And it's not easy. It's not.
It's a lesson.
It's a lesson.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then one after another, I was like, okay, Lord, all right, I'll
Mhm.
listen to what you said. And it's just like, man. Then a person who never knew me comes and gives me a key and said he did not ask me if I wanted.
Yeah.
Never. Until now, do you want that, Rock? He never asked.
Mm.
He gave me the key.
Yeah.
He didn't say, I want to be your partner. No. He didn't say, I want to be your, I need money back.
Yeah.
No. He did not know me.
Mm.
He gave me the key. By the way, I signed the contract 3 days ago
Yeah.
with everything ready.
Mhm.
Have you heard that before?
Mm-mm.
The contract, the lease,
Mhm.
it was signed 3 days ago
Yeah.
with everything ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Just get in it.
the guy trusts me that much that everything was there, the mats, everything, people coming in and out, and then like,
Mhm.
when I'm gonna sign?
Yeah.
3 days ago. So
Yeah.
it's just,
What time is the dedication thing you're doing tonight?
7. Yeah.
7 p.m. Okay.
7 p.m. We're just gonna go there and dedicate to the Lord. It's just what we need to do, man. Because it's gonna be again, okay. It's a business, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's a place of refuge. It's a place of rescue, restore, redeem.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
It's a place of discipleship.
Yeah,
That's exactly.
yeah. This is what it is. That's what the Lord had been telling me since back in California. This is what's supposed to be. Because jiu-jitsu can be really dirty, man. There's a lot of ego, a lot of drama, pride, selfishness, and it's a lot of bad things. I tell you what, I can tell you this. Maybe jiu-jitsu is even worse than money. Why? Because if you got really good in jiu-jitsu and you poor, you're gonna start thinking that you're better than everybody else. If you don't have relationship with God, it's like, I can beat anybody in the world.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's true, but
but then you see how Jacob wrestled with God, right?
Do you see it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he I'm sure Jacob could have wrestled anybody,
Yeah.
but he lost to God.
That's what I'm saying. And then there's a say, I don't even know if this exists before, but I like to say that it doesn't matter how much your jiu-jitsu is good. What it really matters is how good jiu-jitsu is for you. How good you're becoming because of that. Because a lot of people get jiu-jitsu and put jiu-jitsu on a pedestal and say, oh, jiu-jitsu saved my life. Jiu-jitsu did this for me. Jiu-jitsu put me out of depression, put me out of drugs. No, it's not true.
Yeah.
It was a tool that God used to save you. And
point him to him.
Yes. So people have to see the true way. Jiu-jitsu has an amazing power of empower people, confidence, restore lives. But it's a tool. It's just a tool that God uses to transform people's life. It has a power. Yeah, it does. But you can't see a jiu-jitsu itself separate from God. So that's why I'm in this to be, to put things together, to see people coming from dark places to meet God, and the two is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So,
right on. Well, Rock, thanks so much for coming back on.
Yeah,
what a wild story. I love hearing how you let God direct you, you know, and you follow. And Pat and I are super glad to know you.
Yeah.
And we're excited about the soft open and then the real deal. And
Yes, sir.
my house here is excited for sure.
Yes, sir.
Because, you know, we'll be there. So,
Yes, sir.
man, that's another episode of Two Dudes, One God Pod. We'll see y'all next week.
I'm
Have a
just a
good one.
donkey.
Just a donkey.